girl was sleeping in a street with her bag under her head. Two rich young men came there and called out to her. The girl stood up. She was hungry, and both young men started laughing at her. One of them took a loaf of bread out of his bag and pretended to give it to her. When the girl stretched out her hand, he threw the bread on the ground. The girl sat down to pick it up, but they told her to pick it up with her mouth. The girl picked up the bread with her hand, held it close to her chest, and thanked God. Then she gathered her blanket and ran away. The two young men were standing outside their office. A luxury car arrived, and their boss stepped out. He looked at the time and scolded them before angrily walking inside after being humiliated. Both young men stood there worried and upset. The poor girl was sitting on the footpath holding the bread. She became very emotional, then picked up her bag and blanket and walked away sadly. The two young men were sitting in their office talking. After finishing work, they left the office and walked across the road. Feeling tired, they stopped at the roadside and continued talking. People were passing by around them. One of the young men noticed the poor girl sitting near a tree. He walked over to her. The girl stood up in fear. He spoke to her kindly. The other young man also came closer and took a food box out of a shopping bag and gave it to her. The girl ate the food. While standing, they then left, and the girl sat down and quietly finished her meal. The two rich men stood nearby talking for a while and then went home. One of them sat on a chair in the kitchen while his wife was cooking. She served him a plate of food with a spoon. He looked at it and suddenly became angry. He stood up, took a bite, and threw the food onto the floor. Then he argued with his wife and walked away. His wife sat down and started crying. The next day, she went to a priest. She cried bitterly in front of him and prayed. As she was leaving, a man called out to her. She stopped, and he asked her some questions. Meanwhile, her husband went to the office where his boss was already angry. The boss fired him from his job. When the man returned home, he started arguing with his wife. He locked the door of the house. At that moment, another man ran to the boss, who was getting into his car, and requested that a girl be given a job in the office. The boss agreed. The man then went to the girl's room and helped her come out through the window before taking her to the office. At the office, the husband was arguing with his boss, while his wife stood nearby looking beautiful and confident. The rich young man was being humiliated because of the curse of the poor girl. We should always treat poor people with kindness and respect and help them as much as we can. If you like this story, please like, subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon. Please do not forget to share my video. Thank you very much.